Where's my phone?
Hello?
Hey, babes. It's grad time.
What?
What drew me to the Wolf Center for Entrepreneurship?
I wanted the unexpected.
I honestly just wanted a college experience that was a lot different than the regular one. I wasn't very enthusiastic about higher level education.
It wasn't exciting to me enough. I wanted a challenge, so I volunteered for 713 Eats, and then I met incredible people, and they got me involved in.
What drew me was when I met my mentor, David Lin. He was in ABSA in my freshman year, and he was an entrepreneurship major, and at the time I was very confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do. He pointed me in the right direction of entrepreneurship. He told me what it was all about, what Wolf was about, and he took me to one of the classes. I sat in one of Dave's classes.
Was in my first semester here. I found out about the Wolf Center just through I believe it was the Intro to Entrepreneurship 3310 class.
Went to Washington University, got lost, and met the Dean Pavlo equivalent in the business school.
I've always searched for that opportunity of something like that. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was the Wolf Center.
She asked me why I was there. I said for the entrepreneurial program that they had.
I called another friend and I was like, hey, I have no idea how to do video editing or anything like that, so would you be able to help me out with it?
She's like, cool. Where are you from? I said Dallas. And her first response, no hesitation, was to ask me why in the world I was in Washington State when Houston was my neighbor. And she was just like, what are you doing?
I had all these doubts leading up until that time, and he texted me. He said, hey, are we doing this? And that's really what pushed me and let me forward.
I felt like I wasn't really fulfilled with what I wanted, but I also felt like I didn't know what I wanted.
Wilbur's class. He talked about it a little bit. I loved his class. And I was coming for a period where I applied to nursing school. I got into nursing school, and I'm like, I actually don't want to do this. And
I felt like, a lot of people talked about like finding a purpose and all that, and I didn't really feel like I found that anywhere else. But a lot of people in Wolf, they were talking about a lot that like, oh, they work on their purpose and what they wanted to do with their lives.
I grew up in businesses from my parents and my family, so I knew that if I was going to do anything in college, it had to be something related to that.
UH had a great business school, and they had an even better entrepreneurship program.
I met someone from Wolf, and they always talked about like how great their experiences was, and like how they were always lost in college, and I really resonated with that. Like, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew like I had to be here.
Holy shit, how did I get accepted?
Initially I was like, oh wow.
Like, it was imposter syndrome, but at the end of the day, I knew that I was qualified enough to be in Wolf, and it was just like, it was good. Like, I felt good.
This is about to be a long 3 semesters, and it's going to be a crazy ride. Felt very blessed and grateful for the opportunity.
I still remember that moment because my friend actually recorded that moment for me. I was crying, and at that time I felt so happy, so positive, and so excited as well.
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't, but it was definitely one of the best days of my life, knowing that all my hard work paid off and I was part of the #1 program in the nation.
I was just like, it's for me. Yeah, like I'm like, this is for me, so I will get it. I manifested it. Obviously thankful, but I'm like, okay.
Stood here right in front of the Wolf Center when they put up the paper, and I kept looking at it just to make sure, is that the real Himanshu? Is that really me? And a lot of people just tell me that because I'm a sophomore, I have a much lower chance, but I still decided to put in my best effort, and now we're here, now we're graduating. So
Honestly, I don't know, I was just like completely in shock, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't believe it. It was just like unreal.
Such a blessing to get in, and the first two people I thought of was my mom and my stepdad who passed away. And so of course I was happy that I knew they were happy looking down at me, knowing that I got into such a great program and that life was going to change a lot from here going forward. And then I called my dad, my stepmom, my sister, and
I was so sure that I wasn't going to make it, in fact, that before I walked to WCE, I typed in a video on my phone. It was like a TED Talk, how to deal with failure.
I definitely was a little surprised whenever I saw my name on the list because my interview with Dave was a little questionable. I didn't know.
Whenever I happened to see my name up there, I freaked out. I could not believe what I saw. I was like, my life had been changed in like a second.
But I was super surprised, super relieved to see my name on there, and very excited.
When I saw the Instagram page and I saw my name, I just bursted out crying. As if though like I hadn't gotten accepted, like I was crying so much.
So I went through a 3-phase part through the whole process of application. The first one I was confident and cocky. The second one I was like overthinking, am I gonna be accepted? And the third one I was mad. I was like, oh, if they don't accept me, it's their loss. So
it was the day before Halloween, so I knew I was either gonna be happy or sad on Halloween.
You know, I was getting texts at noon. Of course, I was late. So I ran over there panting. I was gassed, and I looked up at the sign, and there was, sure enough, at the top of the list.
Got there the day of. It was me and Elisa. We knew each other prior, and so we were standing there. And then I saw it.
I started bawling, and the first thing I did was call my mom because I was like, yo, you will never believe there's a Filipino in the #1 entrepreneurship program. But actually there ended up being 3, which was really cool. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Lee.
We kind of like didn't see our names at first, and then we finally like looked at it. It was like, oh shit, like that's that shit right there. We cried a little bit, you know what I'm saying? We was excited. I was excited. So
my favorite memory or experience in WCE was probably my birthday party. It was the first time that I've thrown something together, and it's the first time I've seen like, you know, so many of my friends and people I call, like, you know, close friends and family, like, were there.
I think the spontaneous moments, those moments like everyone's working on projects or at Wolf, we're all like have our moment of distraction or procrastination, doing random things.
Me and a couple of my Wolf Center classmates, we went bike riding at 3 in the morning.
To be able to do the things that you love with people that love you, that didn't even know you at the beginning, I think there's something about that really kind of fuels you and gets you going.
Probably winning IP and winning WolfFest. And all because I gave it my all in both teams, and I learned so much from both IP and WolfFest and so many different things in each team. And
The Dream Team, I think, has also been another one where like those are really fond memories that I have. I think sleeping over at WCE, like on a table, the day before we had to go to EWOP.
My favorite time in the Wolf Center would have to be San Francisco. It was a lot of fun. We got to just relax and go all around and eat sushi, and San Francisco is really pretty too.
Honestly, this is very recent, but it was a senior trip. It was just, I don't know, I feel like it was the first time we were like all like relaxed because we didn't have like anything to do. But it was also just like so fun, and it was just like it's so exciting because it was a lot of people's like first time there. So we got to really bond, and it was a good way to wrap it up.
I would say my favorite experiences in the Wolf Center have been during Reed's revenue class, specifically the field trips, where we went to actual businesses in many different industries. In fact, one of Reed's companies, Smart AC, eventually became my employer.
I think ultimately though, like being able to hang out one-on-one is the best part, because once you graduate, those are the connections and the stories and the times you'll really remember.
The learning aspect of all this stuff is so much more important than like, you know, what things look like to the outside world.
I really just enjoyed the grunt work of it all. Like
retreats were always fun. It always set the semester and the tone for the semester.
I always love retreats. It's just like our class in the middle of the woods. There's like trampolines and there's like...
It's a tie between our first ever retreat and Wolf Fest.
Or the bonds that were created within our team, and especially in those 3 days of Wolf Fest, all of us got together to make something happen those 3 days, and we stayed up late to make sure that that we would be constantly improving throughout the 3 days. Those are included in some of my favorite memories.
Like, I talked to my sister and her friends a lot about this, like what it's like to graduate and post-graduation life. They said making friends is one of the hardest things for them. Because of this program, I won't really fear that.
I think I will miss all the morning greetings and warm hugs that my classmates gave to me whenever I open the class door on Tuesday and Thursday morning.
The constant grind, that's something I would miss the most. Grinding every single day gave me a purpose.
I think just seeing everyone and like all my classmates and being in an environment where everybody thinks alike.
My classmates, I'm getting emotional now.
At our last class, you know, this past week, and that's when the moment hit me. I'm like, wow.
Definitely Donna, and Dave. Dave is amazing. He's helped me through so much, especially now. And I don't know, just reminds me of my papa, so my papa was a very special person for me.
I'll honestly just miss coming here at like 11 p.m. and seeing people just working on things and being able to join them and, you know, having productive and insightful conversations.
First day of the last class, I still can't believe it was the last class. I went home, and for the next week, I couldn't believe that I didn't have to leave my house, I didn't have to go anywhere.
I think I'm gonna miss those chances to really interact with some really cool individuals and learn from them, and you know.
I didn't even think of ideas at home alone because I'm usually sitting around with you guys talking about like, hey, I'm gonna bounce off that idea, I'm gonna bounce off this idea, and now it felt like there's nobody to bounce around with. And then yesterday I came to Wolf, and it was so easy to just talk about my ideas and actually go on my laptop and start doing it.
I think the one thing that I will miss most about the Wolf Center, despite how challenging they can be sometimes, is our class and the culture that we've created. All the jokes I've told in moments where they probably were not very appropriate.
The thing that I'll miss most is the camaraderie, the togetherness, whether it's the retreats or in class.
All the stuff we do outside of here, and just getting to do that with y'all has meant a lot to me.
You know, it's going to be very hard for, I think, any of us in our class to find another opportunity to work with that kind of dynamic.
I'll miss Dr. Blair. I love Dr. Blair.
Talking to Nini in the morning, and I'm gonna miss going into the program manager's office and just rambling about my life.
Just coming to class every Tuesday and Thursday and like walking in, we're all in here. Like, just like those little tiny things.
This last year and a half of my life, I felt the unconditional love that was supposed to be given to us, and it was, and I'm gonna miss it.
You and everybody in your team is like struggling together to create something beautiful out of it, whether it's a success or failure. Regardless, everything is such an amazing learning experience and just brings us closer together as a family.
I think what I got to see over the past year and a half was everyone really growing into that and realizing what their strengths are and being the best possible version of themselves.
I love y'all. Y'all better not disappear. Like,
You know, I'm gonna miss y'all, but you know, I love y'all.
I'm just really thankful for the people that were people of integrity.
It's been a long ride. It's felt longer than 3 semesters, but I'm super proud of all of them, and I think they'll all do great things after graduation.
I love y'all so much. I'm here for y'all. If y'all ever need me, call me, text me.
I love every one of you guys. You too, Josh. You're always welcome to my house. You're always welcome. You're part of my family now, every single one of you guys.
I'm excited to see what the Sturdy 30 will accomplish over the next 5-10 years.
Definitely keep in touch, even if we weren't that close during WCE.
And I hope that we'll be able to come back and, you know, a couple of years, look back on things and be like, what, 500,000? That's chump change.
Take the things that we've learned here and the experiences that we've had, both positive and negative, and actually go out and use them to make this world better.
Thanks for being a safe space, because when I started, I wasn't who I am now.
It was an honor and a privilege being here at the Wolf Center for Entrepreneurship. You guys definitely have helped me grow, achieve my dreams.
So let's remember to always be in each other's lives and in a way that brings value to each other. And sometimes that means, you know, not being too nice to each other and you know, really saying the things that we feel because we want each other to grow.
I am really, really gonna miss you guys. I will say that.
I'll see y'all at the trampoline next time, okay? It's a metaphor to whatever successful platform or house we're gonna go to.
You're gonna kill it.
Thank you for everything y'all have taught me. Thank you for the goods and the bad times, and just for always having a smile on y'all's faces and, you know, making this one of the best year and a half of my life.
Don't lose the momentum. Wolf puts a big fire under your ass. Like, keep it.
But I hope for us to be able to still stay in touch with each other and just keep each other in the loop, you know? Love you guys.
I hope to see everyone in the near future and see them succeeding in accomplishing their dreams, and hopefully that we can make businesses together.
Thank you for the experience, the memories, the lessons y'all taught me, and to making me a better person. And I can't wait to have our class reunion and share the amazing stories that y'all been doing.
Stay high and stay humble.
I will say if things get tough in the weird world, I'd say just think about what we all went through Wolf Fest. If we can get through Wolf Fest, we can go through anything. So,
y'all were the best thing that has happened to me in my college experience, like seriously, and I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Let's go out there and show the world what we're made of.
Just know y'all are always welcome to hit me up. I'm pretty sure my number is never going to change. 903-263-3331.
Yeah, I just hope we all succeed in whatever we want to do, and most importantly, I hope we're all happy in life wherever we go.
It's always love. Love is why I came here, love is why I stayed, and love is what I'll take with me when I leave. So yeah.
The first day of my life, swear I was born right in the doorway. Well, now the rain, suddenly everything changed.
Yeah, I'm going. What's up?
Blankets on the beach.
I know John was doing that this year.
Yours the first face that I saw. Think I was blind before I met you. Don't know where I am, don't know where I've been. What's going on? What's going on? Where I want to go. You see, this is the first day of my life. I didn't die before I met you. And I don't care, I could go anywhere with you. And I'd probably be happy. So if you want to be with me, with these things there's no telling. We just have to wait and see. But I'm working for a paycheck instead of waiting to win the lottery.